right. Good morning. Good morning. Here. I don't know. Maybe. Looks like it could be. Sound is good. All right. Cool. I guess the chat is magically working again. I don't know why sometimes it does that. It's like, um, guys, just instead of sending us a document, he's taking pictures of it with his phone, and yeah, it's crazy. All right. So, biggest mover on the board right now, dollar yen, creeping back up in the upward direction, as we assumed last week. Excuse me. We talked about this. Some dollar strength rolling back in early week, Sunday into Monday morning, just because it was beat up so much last week. And again, the 81 is respectable. The Aussie dollar being down 53 is also a pretty good amount. You're seeing euro pound up about 18. Haven't quite seen that pound strength kind of roll in. Dollar Swiss up about 30. That's a decent move. Again, that one doesn't move as much. So percentage wise, that one's pretty good. G20 day four. Haven't gotten a ton of messages or like headlines so far. Um, our manufacturing came in. Empire State was expected to be negative. Came in better than expected. Obviously lower than it was before. But again, better than expected is always a good thing. Nothing else really for the rest of today. Maybe some G20 stuff. I'm not sure if you guys saw it or not, but the grain deal expired today for the Black Sea. Um, you know, Russia said that, hey, listen, there was supposed to be, you know, Russia has not benefited in the agreement. We've let Ukraine get stuff out. There's supposed to be fertilizer getting out, and it hasn't happened, so it is canceled. So they have to use land and something else. I guess land and the other ports that they have, but they said the overnight pricing of wheat went up 3.5% after the release. Um, so I don't know. Turkey, I guess. The gentleman in Turkey was like, they don't actually mean that. I'll have a discussion with them, and because everything right now goes to Turkey, I guess. So obviously he wants to make sure that the goods are flowing, right? The goods are flowing. Um, we'll see. I don't think anybody. I mean, it seems like it was pretty clear. I don't know, a couple weeks ago that this was going to happen, and they're like, oh, world hunger, Russia has to let all that stuff through. It's like, yeah, I mean, if they're in a war, I don't know, do they have to? Do they have responsibility to? I don't know. I mean, humanitarian, they should, but they're, I don't know. I wasn't in there for the negotiation, and you know, fertilizer and all that kind of stuff is a big deal, I guess. So, um, we'll see where that one goes. I think that's a story that will be unfolding the rest of this week. It's kind of like, oh, you bomb a bridge of ours, fine, then we're going to cancel the grain deal that helps you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Isn't there that that special law, right? For every action, there's an opposite reaction. You just bombed one of our bridges. Okay, fine. That grain deal is off. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll see more about that this week. Interesting article, and it's still over here by the CME group. I think this is an awesome article. I love this one. I love everything about this one. Talking about how the June data headline inflation rate will benefit, because of easy 2022. I mean, we said this. Everybody's looking at these numbers, and it's going a year back, and they're like, oh, inflation is lowering, but is it really? Because there was these different spikes in 2022, and it talked about how by contrast, the July data to be released in mid-August is likely to bounce upward and stay there for another month because again, what we saw the year prior, right? So a lot of people are looking at that. And it's like, wait a second. I thought the Fed was done, but now they're saying, hey, listen, we expect it to go up. It should. Why? Because that's what we saw last year, right? Because it's yearly data. So yeah, and these abnormalities are due to what economists call the base effects. You know, market participants, however, know that recent data is much more valuable than old data, right? But it's funny, but they'd be like, oh, on a yearly basis, this is where we're at. We're doing good, right? I think it's great that they're finally they're mentioning this. Great article. Props to the CME group. Again, we've been kind of saying it for a while that this is what people are not looking at. That you're talking about on a yearly basis, but I'm still seeing all these positive numbers. You're seeing these positive numbers, and people are celebrating that's going down from its peak. And again, remember it's based off the year before, so yeah, a lot of those numbers were super inflated because obviously with COVID going in there, and then it went really really high, and then when it came back, it's like, well, is it still being positive, or is it where's it at? So great article, love it. If you guys want to read it, it's just here. It's called "U.S. A Bumpy Inflation Ride Ahead." Many people have said this, that we haven't even seen kind of the, excuse me, the worst of it all yet. So we will see. What is this? China warns youth unemployment to worsen after hitting record. Oh, we'll see. Geopolitical landscape. Yeah, nothing else really. And it's Monday for the most part, besides the dollar yen, which seems to be ticking back a little bit right now. Everything's rather tame, so we'll see how we roll into Monday morning. So tonight, obviously, we do have monetary policy meeting notes, but again, the equivalent of FOMC. So that should provide some, some good data points, right? We may get something out of this one. Is it going to be like a 500 pip mover in the Aussie dollar? No, it's not going to be that big, but could help for what we're going to see next inside of the Aussie. So, um, not horrible, right? I think the problem with Aussie right now is not that inflation, but I think they're looking farther down the road. We know that we've seen some. Um, the Chinese data is has become weaker than expected. Remember, Australia is kind of dependent on China, to the extent that, and I know they have problems back and forth. Um, but again, for resources, a lot of the resources that China goes after and uses come from Australia. So when you see Chinese data being, I don't want to say overly negative, but when you see Chinese data that is negative, it tends to affect the Aussie, and we have seen slowing in Chinese data. Things, their recovery looks a little bit different. I mean, the whole process for them has looked different. Um, but yeah, overall, I think again the Aussie data is going to be a little bit muted tomorrow morning. Day 5, and again, if we get nothing on day 4, maybe day 5 is the day that we see all the big headlines. We have a lot of CAD data, and we have retail sales data. Now, all expected to be great, right? Look at this core and retail sales data, all expected to be much higher. I mean, 4 times higher in core, almost double for the overall. Again, showing that the economy is not dying, but at the same time, if inflation is still too high, is there room to run? If people are still spending money, is there room to go up higher to get inflation back to where it should be? Right? The answer is yes. Right? This is one of those ones that, like, good can be bad. It's great that people are doing things. We're going to see earnings coming in that are good if people are spending more money. That's awesome. But we do know that PPI index that came in, right? PPI came in, the price, the cost of finished goods and services are costing more. So if people are spending money and buying all the goods and services, but it's costing more to produce them, where does that send the price of goods and services? Typically higher, which again is what's considered inflation. So yeah, sounds like the story is not over yet, right? We're going to get more. So yeah, that's the first piece, and then obviously we have all the CPI data. Again, expected to be a little bit lower in all of them. But again, common 5 is still really, really high. The overall, on a monthly basis, 0.3. Again, still not great. 3.7 and 3.6 and trimmed and common, doesn't matter which one you look at, all still higher than the 2 mandate. So still room to go in Canada. So we'll see. Tomorrow, industrial production, again, it's supposed to be flat. And then CPI New Zealand tomorrow. Again, quarterly basis. Again, every quarter, if you go up 0.9, a little bit higher than 2% that you're looking for. So, yeah, still a little bit there. But again, New Zealand tends to be a little bit more insulated, and they don't go as crazy with it. So that's what we got for the next 24 hours. Now, VIX, typical Monday. Why is it up? You see most of the indices right now, minus the YM, are in the green, just slightly. But yet you're seeing the VIX higher. Why? Because it's the weekend. Anything could happen, right? There could be drone strikes. There could be surveillance planes. Oh, wait, there was surveillance planes in Syria. There could be grain deals getting screwed up. Oh, wait, that happened too. So, again, stuff happens on the weekend, right? We always tend to see this gap every single week. We see some type of a gap. And then what happens if there's nothing really bad out there? And again, right now, everything is, minus the Dow, which is just slightly minus 0.07 right now and fluctuating back and forth. We should see this start to deteriorate back down again, probably beginning back down in this 1320 range today. Indices, as I mentioned, for the most part, green. YM now down 0.1. Kind of fluctuating back and forth. Again, not a lot of news out there. There you go. Russell just kind of ticked into the negative side of things, but any major movement today? Nah, not really. I mean, maybe some of the forecasts for retail sales, maybe the grain deal. And again, the grain deal, why does it affect us? Again, we don't have necessarily hunger with grain, but if overall the cost of grain internationally goes higher, again, that goes back to the food costs, right? Remember before that's like, oh my God, the Ukraine, we're not going to get, They're one of the biggest producers of grain and um, what's it called? Like oils and stuff like that, as well as fertilizer. Food prices all going to go up. Yeah, there could be an effect with that one. Sure, that's not what people want to see. They don't want to see food prices going higher. So, that's maybe what we're going to run into today. A little bit of backlash from that, people talking about it. Um, Again, maybe some type of a bargaining chip. We'll see. We'll see. I think half the things that come out of half the statements and half the deals get put back on or get put back off. And the one thing we have learned from this war that is, despite our best efforts, um, you can't stop really anybody, right? They try to stop all foreign transactions to cripple Russia, and what did they do? They went to third-party brokers and were able to go, around, circumvent things. There was tankers turning their lights off and their transponders off, meeting and transferring oil back and forth. Side deals met. Haven't been able to stop us there, or stop Russia. U.S. they're still sending grain through and everything else, so haven't been able to stop on that side. So both sides, again, doesn't matter what you do, they've been able to get everything through. So you know, without even much slowing, right? Without even much slowing. Now, what they're seeing too, I saw this article this weekend too. A lot of companies boycotted Russia and they wouldn't send, the advanced microchips over. So you know what they're doing? The weapons that they are capturing from the battlefield, they are taking the advanced chips out of them and using those instead. So they're still getting chips. It's like, oh God, right? Just can't win, right? Can't win. So yeah, but everything again in the green right now. Commodities again. If you're looking at the dollar's up again a decent amount since really the 630 point today. We talked last week about again. This is probably where the bottom is going to be down here, and we're starting to tick back up again. We're back up just a little bit above 100, but again, U.S. dollar coming in strong for the weekend. That's what we expected, and because of it, you're seeing all commodities down. Oil, thank God, is back under 75 again. Thankfully, it didn't go up. That 77.22 was a big number. Natural gas under 250, which is awesome. Gotta love that. Gold also retreating. And actually, they are in order today, down 0.44. And silver is supposed to be double, just over double that. But back at 1946, again, below that 1950 mark. And silver was up to 25. We're back down to 24.67. So, again, seeing dollar strength roll back in, those commodities heading back down again in response to it. Yeah. So let's dive over and go right into Aussie. So we talked about this one continue to deteriorate. We're like, God, I hope it doesn't blow up over the week. Right. And it didn't. Friday to Sunday, it went in here. And again, it just continued its path down. We had a Harry Potter trade with a break below 67.75. And again, I still think that's pretty valid. I'd like, the fact that it hit it and it's starting to bounce off of it, I think is great. I'd like it to form a little bit more of a base. And if it does it right here, this will have to be adjusted a little bit higher. But right now, we do have a short trade setup about to occur here. And I think it makes sense. Again, we got this nice Harry Potter down to 66.95. All this basing supporting it. And again, we supported it again. Loving that. Yeah, I think this one will be probably in the next hour, 2 hours. This one should be triggered. Okay. But again, same setup as we had last week. Nothing's really changed on it. But again, it has pushed all the way back down from our Sunday open. We said, hey, from here down, and it did. From its Sunday open, it has rallied about 50 pips down already. So feeling good about that one. Aussie yen. Now, Aussie yen actually looks a little bit different, right? Aussie yen is going in an upward direction. And you can see about 5:30 this morning. It should have turned over here. Looking at where kind of buyers were stacked into this basing zone right here, you can see coming across, that's exactly what it ran into. And again, Europeans sent it down, and this was like a 5:30. 5:30 is right here, right? This is a 5:30 reversal coming back up and giving some strength. So again, we talked about a couple different short trades in there. Right now, with it driving higher, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if we do see this one turn and flip, particularly if the Aussie dollar continue to deteriorate. Right now, this is more of a yen story than anything else. But if the yen starts to, get a little bit of help, excuse me. Oh, I like coffee. Like I've had like one refill of coffee, but I feel like it's not working today. Overall, right now, I think the 95.34 is an area we need to watch out for. Let's run some fibs and see if there's any levels that could potentially help us. Yeah, the 61 level, probably. I kind of like this one better. I kind of like that spot better, but there's this little hiccup right here. The old, this little gem right there at 95.84, or no, I'm sorry, 94.84. And if it can get up there at 1030, that could be a potential area that this turns. Now, if this does come up and potentially turn, and again, we get some Aussie selling in here, that could also accelerate that Aussie dollar trade south. But yeah, watch out for that one. There's a little zone here, but looks like we've gotten far enough in for the 50. Yeah, this little hiccup right here, it's like, hmm. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'd say look for something to potentially turn, right? Beware more US weakness tightening affects volatility. But yeah, dollar straight up. Hmm, 95, 85. God, it's like a 10 pip range. Ugh. Yeah, I like this confirmation better, but I do think we're gonna have some sellers. So again, depending on what time, how aggressive you want to be, I think look for reversal in either of those two spots. Man, I'm torn between the two. I really am. It's like, man, this has been just nothing but a straight up run. Where are we at here? We're at 66 pips. If it comes all the way up, a daily ATR literally puts us up there. This is about 80, 85. So I mean, it's kind of set. It's kind of set. Um, I mean, I guess if dollar weakness starts to roll in, maybe you see gold take off and the Aussie kind of kick back again. Um, hmm. Overall, I like both these. I think if we can get a 1030 reversal in for either of these two, either 85 or here. I mean, I think either of these, it depends how aggressive you want to be. I think either of them would be pretty decent. Again, maybe wait for the confirmation flip with a red, green, red, and then the close on the red below. Pull the trigger on that one. Euro dollar. All right, we're still here. We talked about Sunday, and it's really done nothing. It's still, I mean, if I continue this across, it kind of peaked up just a little bit. We knew we were extremely high in the curve. We said it last week. We're like, hey, listen, we're looking for a base. We're looking for a base. We're looking for a base. Right now, unfortunately, as far as taking the short goes, there is a basing level here, and there's been plenty of basing where it's hit it and hit it and hit it and hit it and hit it. It's like, oh, right. Um, hmm, hmm, about 66. See, this right here kind of messes this up for me. If this was just like one candle or just solid, like if it was like this, man, I'd be all over short. I'd be all over that one. But hmm, hmm. I do like down. I do like down on this one. But as far as kind of a definable level, I mean, we can't really use this top. It's just been there way too many times. And yeah, there's sellers there, but not a lot, right? Not a lot. Not that's anything like a high probability where you're like, yeah, you know, nothing exciting, right? And again, Monday, maybe that's the new top for Monday morning, right? But ugh, wish I hadn't been there like 5 times already. So yeah, I like this one down. Again, until we get down and we break 111.25. Right. 111.25 is I think where we really again the big trade is for this one. So I like down, just don't love the top. Again, just spent way too much time there. Didn't get enough pullback on this one. Euro pound. Again, we can see that this one. It's funny. It's like we mentioned it. Look, grind. Look at the grind. Hit, base, pullback, 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 pullback. Grab the top one, pull back down. Again. Fight, 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 fight. Look at all this. Oh my God. Talk about grind. Did it go up and grab the 61? Nah, I missed it by just a little tiny bit. So right now, man, talk about working hard, right? Working hard to that level. So, um, let's clear it. So the problem with this one is going to be this big area of basing from like What's up? What's up? What's up? Sorry, kid. He's just waking up, so I gave him a snack. Yeah, go ahead. Bring it to sister. Bring the bear to sister. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to put the TV on? Here, Daddy, put TV on. Go look at the TV. You want Blippy? Yeah, Daddy put Blippy on the TV. Oh, here we go. The girls in the other room singing. Hold on one sec. Let me just put this on for him real quick. Um, I turned it on. I was like, oh, I'll probably need this. This is gonna be my secret weapon for today. Um, He's like B, which is Blippy. So I do like this one pulling back. Again, seeing some European weakness and pound strength rolling back in makes sense. But unfortunately, I mean, look at the chop back and forth here, and then this level of basing. I mean, this level of basing is as great as it is only 5 pips, right? So it spent, God, 8 hours, 9 hours within a 5 pip range. There's just not enough movement in that one. And if you look at this one, I mean, it's kind of set like this. There's just not a layer. So I do like this one to pull back down again. I do believe that UK strength is probably justified at this point. But unfortunately, this is what it looks like. There's not really anything strong. We're looking for big momentum out of an area. We really don't have anything on this one. I mean, this is a nice push here. And again, probably a front run of this level here. But right now, there's not a whole lot in this one. So using it as a proxy, I would say European weakness, which kind of makes sense with that euro dollar trade we saw. But besides that, I mean, there's just not enough movement, right? Not enough excitement in this one. Euro yen. All right, so Euro yen. We talked about, again, here was a touch from Friday at 10, pulled all the way back down again. We came back up. We knew the 61.8 had a level. We're kind of sitting there right now. Now, it did start to form a base there, which always kind of, again, kind of scary when we pull up and we pull back and then we start the base because it's finding buyers. There are traders that are going to come in and out to 61.8. We have two levels. We talked about this 56.50 last week, and then obviously, again, the round number, which we saw push through, and then this 156. It's 16. It should be 16. Hold on, bring it down to 16. That's where we're standing. Now we have had a big surge up, and again, this has really been a big surge. It's funny. Look at this. Look at this. It literally came back and used that level again. That 155.20. Right. That's what we use. Let's see. How much is it? 119. So we're at about a daily ATR right now. And again, this is the yen. The yen's got to give it. And again, this yen data is obviously, you know, we need a little bit more. We need some more. So, yeah, look, it's right there. Oh, a big surge in both the Aussie yen and the Euro yen up the levels where we do have sellers. So, how much is it? How much is it? Oh, it's only 16. Mm. Uh, yeah, I kind of like this one for reversal. I wish it was a little bit later. Like 10:30 is where we tend to see it. 10 is a little bit early, but it's obviously having some problems coming in here. Of the two levels I mentioned last week, I like the 156.50 better, the formation of it, but this one is not bad. There's 61.8 traders in there involved. Um, there's a potential reversal here. I think the best way to play this one would be, again, oh, God, look at the wicks on it. Oh, I think what you need to get here is a red, green, red. A red, green, red will confirm. It's got quite a room to run. The opposing zone is about 102 pips away. So if you need to get a red, green, red in here, you could slap a small level on here. Um, hmm. Um, Um, so we're getting this. We're starting to see the confirmation come in. I think a red, green, red on this one, kind of a confirm reversal, is what we're looking for. Again, a little bit of a racetrack in there. There is 100 pips in there, so again, makes a lot of sense. I wish it was a little bit closer to 1030 because that's where we would see the reversal. But again, big skyrocket up. We should see profit taking coming in. We should see it turn and roll back to the downside. Um, yeah, I just want to see the confirmation and pushing it right back down into that level. But again, plenty of room to play in this one. Okay. Pound dollar. All right. So look, it's kind of doing what we talked about. It's coming. It's going slow, right? In this big grand scheme of what we're doing, it's doing the pullback, right? It's got the push up and now it's got the push back down again. So it's following the path. We were kind of looking for it to come down in base. It's kind of doing the base over here. But actually, it's funny. If you look at this over here, you can see it's kind of doing this where it kind of pulled back down again and it's pushing, but we're looking for it here. Okay, so still following the path. Nothing exciting, right? Nothing, again, nothing, no major movement on there. Whoops. What I want to do, let me drag this all the way up to here. Um, Friday. Yeah, Sunday came in here. So it's not much different than where the Sunday night position was. Um, Again, this one, we really, the hard part about this one for me is, again, we saw pound weakness. We saw a lot of pound weakness. We saw a lot of dollar strength, dollar weakness, and they're both kind of trying to roll back in with some strength right now. Um, yeah, ugh. This is just so ugly for a top, right? Boom, 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 boom. I don't know that that holds, right? Uh, yeah, so we're 17 pips, 18 pips or whatever, and rallying and getting closer um, to where the Sunday night open was. I would say if we can get back up into, oh, God, this is an ugly one. Fridays. Hmm. We got that red, green, red confirmation in there. Hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be the same issue as what we have with the Euro Pound. Just not enough movement giving us any decent levels in here. Nothing. I mean, again, it's been up here. This was the end of late last week. It's been up here a number of times. Um, God, I wish there was a better zone, but there's really not. I mean, even if we ignored everything back here because of the spike, you could say, oh, but there's already two confirmations off of it. This would be number three at best. But the reality is, it's already been up there. I mean, obviously, some strong selling coming in right there, right? Obviously, the top, it supported it there, supported it there, supported it there. So 131.44. Um, but why did he fall down? You guys are supposed to be watching the TV. Yes, buds. It's okay. It's okay, buds. You're all right. Yeah. So unfortunately, no trade set up off this one. Again, we gotta bust through this top side. Again, maybe it's a higher level here we're looking for, but just too much sideways movement in it. Pound yen again. Yen, we know exactly what's happening with the yen. You're seeing the spike come up again. It's funny. It actually did turn right off the level of buyers right here at the 61.8. So again, probably assisted with this one. I'd say profit taking is also coming in on this one. Again, if you look to see where the top was, that's kind of what we're running into right now. Ideally, I like the 182.52 better, but what? Hey, I'm busy. Can you go to the other room? Go in that other room. You want to sit with Daddy? Do chart school. Do chart school with Daddy. Um, Again, looks very much like the Aussie yen and the Euro yen. Looks like we're lining up for a reversal right now. Again, this one did have an area. It's a little bit cleaner than the other two. But again, we kind of need to see this one. In 20 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, pull the trigger on this one. I think they're all kind of in the same spot. Again, it's going to be yen profit taking coming in. Um, Again, we see a little bit of yen strength roll back in, but it's a fight on all three: Aussie yen, Euro yen, pound yen, all basically exactly the same, right? Sitting up at a level, and again, it grabbed that group right there really really fast. Again, sitting right there, and again sitting right there, all in the same bit. So again, three charts, um, all the same. And again, with the way that this European one is going, I like the Euro yen better, right? Than obviously than the pound getting weak, right? This is European weakness, so yeah, it's there. Dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD kind of had the same thing in the overnight, right? It kind of went up and then just flatline, 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 flatline. We knew we had sellers over there, and again, it's been there a few times, and kind of exactly what we talked about. We knew we had this big racetrack. We were looking for some type of a, some type of a basing level over the weekend, right? And you guys can see at 10:30 we hit it and pulled back again, and then punched through it, and then kind of used it. It did end up using this piece over here, right? It did not get stopped out on there, but again, this is all Friday, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Again, red, green, red shows us that again the zone became valid and then hit it and then now is pushed. For me on this one, we have the ability to run all the way back down here. So again, we don't need this anymore. This one has room to run. Another 64 pips down to 131.24. Oh, here, did I kiss it? There, your boo boo's gone. Your boo boo's gone. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we talked about. Waiting for that dollar session to, kind of roll in and look at dollar strength pulling back. Unfortunately, the dollar strength on this one came really, really early last week, and now we're seeing Canadian strength come in. I'm wondering, yeah, see, it's not really doing much. The dollar is kind of holding firm on this one. Um, it's not oil. I wonder if there's Canadian news that came out. It's all those Canadian forest fires. That's what it is. So, yeah, unfortunately, this one is going purely back to, again, a racetrack based move, and then we are retracing back down to the origin of the move. So, um, um, yeah. So, trying to think if there's a pullback level that we'd be interested in. I like this one all the way down. So again, again, it's funny. This is purely a technical, pop and drop. So, what this, take this and this. Those you can't get in trouble with either of those two pieces. Um, I think if it's worth pulling. I don't think so. I think we wait till it gets lower, and then again, I like long. Dollar Swiss. Again, not much. Looks like 5:30 this morning. We had a little bit of a bounce here. We ended up missing it by a few pips, and all it did was pull right back into where we were Sunday night. Yeah, buds. Sunday we were right there, so we are 18 pips from where we were. It drove all the way down 5:30 reverse right back up to where the Sunday close was. Um, Technically, this will be hit number 3, but I actually don't mind this level down here, this 85.78. So if we can pull back down, I think that's pretty decent. If not, we just wait. We wait for this one to come back up until this level is broken. There's still obviously a base with a confirmation in there at 86.72. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Um, yeah, buds. So yeah, no real setup. Again, I liked it down here. Again, I like the 86.72. It's the best thing I got for that. All right, so sloppy, 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 sloppy. So here's your Friday thing. Again, we're trying to see if we could use that as our base, and it looks like again, we talked about this, that 1030 reversal coming off, and again, not really, didn't really use the base here. It got close, but it didn't really use it. Yeah, it used this level enough. I think right now, again, we still got room to run in this one. It looks like all the other XX yen pairs. Um, but I'd want to see it drop a little bit. I'd want to see it go a little bit higher. So right now we can mark the bottom off of this one and say, hey, listen, downside target is going to be all the way down here. Excuse me. Oh, I couldn't get my hand in the way. Kit was, it's like, oh god, Kit was in the way. I couldn't get to it. Nope. I don't know what you just did. Don't hit buttons, please. Don't know what that was. Is this what he hit? No, I don't know what you hit. I have no idea what he hit. No, we're not gonna hit the keyboard, please. You're gonna go in the other room. All right, so I honestly don't know what he did. Don't know. Anyway, I do like this one rolling like all the other yen-based pairs. If it gets a little bit higher, 139.60 is a decent level to pull that trigger. Unfortunately, again, this has been here a few times. You would not have taken the 23.6. So this one may leave without us, unfortunately. So yeah, it is what it is. Funny, even with a dollar, Bitcoin holding above 30, right? Not doing too much. Let's check out oil. Oil, no story yet. Again, we knew we had levels here. We're looking for some what a Harry Potter. Again, hit, nothing. Base. Boom, it pushed. Did get a spike all the way back up to that 79. Again, this is an old level we were talking about. Look, the top. Trying to look to see if it stabilized, and it necessarily didn't on Thursday. And then started the punch through back down, and that's what it ended up using. So funny that it used it again. Let's pull this off. Again, that top at 77.20 is still a great trade from last week. Let's run this all the way up. Yeah, there's nothing there. Interesting place to go. Look, straight up, cleared everything, came right back down again, and then started to resume back to the Friday gap. Friday gap is right here. Right there's your Friday gap. So interesting that we cycled all the way through it. Hmm. I actually don't. Although there's a lot of drama with this up and then open here and then back down again, I actually am not opposed to that bottom. I actually don't think that's a horrible place. What's that place? Huh. Stop. You need to learn what stop means. Um, yeah, I don't mind that as a bottom. I really don't. Wish this would be a better area. I was trying to drop it to a lower one to see if we got any type of basing up there at all. Um, hmm. Ugh. I wish there was a better top on that. Yeah, I just no. All right, last chance. You touch it again, you're going in the other room. I wish we had a top here. On the 61. Right now, I'm going to draw those at the two levels 6703 and 7418. I do think we're more than likely the way that this has reacted. I think we're going to be able to get back up to 7603. Big question will be is can we survive the 1030 turnover today and see if we roll back down. So I think it's there. And again, contract switch, I would expect a jump up higher for the contract switch also. So there's some in that one. Natural gas. Again, profit target has been tagged. Pull this off. Down. Actually, I'm gonna use that top. I'm gonna use this piece right here. Did use that. Wow. That's it. Look at this. This is a Friday at 8:30 zone. Actually, not a horrible level either. Look at that. Right in there. The descending candles. It's a 2 candle top. Look at that. Right in there. Again, we're looking for this drop down. Yeah, right now. That's short. Here. Out. 30. See, the thing is, this is just a spike over here for our left. So, yeah, we're really putting in new levels right now. We got one sitting there. Question is, do we play with this one again? Eh. I mean, it's. Ugh. I mean, it's there. It's there. I like the 265. I think depending on the time we hit this one, I think this 258 is also probably pretty decent. It's an okay top. It ground its way back up again and then immediately launched off of it, showing us that our seller is still there. I don't have a long trade for this one. Again, we have a spike down here, so it's not really the best long opportunity. So yeah, take it for what it's worth. Um, we've been looking for a push down on this one. Looks like with the basing though. Let's see. Yeah, it did pull back up again. It based in that level. It never broke it. So it didn't drop base and then pull back. It came in here and based and then came back up and grabbed this level. So kind of makes sense. I think it rallies back up again. I'd say right now, again, this one did not have the ideal setup over the weekend. Can't stop. I can't. Um, we were looking for this drop. Unfortunately, we never got the entry. This was not the entry. And when it pulled back up again, it did grab a zone. So there was a small trade in that one. Again, if we pull back up again, this, I think 1961 ish is okay. You can see that we're basically boxing this one off by just by taking old levels. Let's run. Yeah, why are you making so much noise now? Okay, look, boom, 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 base, and then pulled up. So there, the trade was here. Um, yeah, I think 1961 again. If we can make through, I think there could be some aggressive selling coming in right there. But overall, again, I think with this one staying artificially high, I think is no, stop. Stop. Just sit here, please. Here. Play with this. Yeah, I like these when it gets a little bit higher. I think we get a 1960. We're looking to fundamentally turn this one, get this one short. Again, if that data is creeping higher, again, every more reason to get this one short. Um, it's it's not an action pack week for the U.S. unfortunately, but retail sales maybe. Um, yeah, I'd like a high. I'd like to see what time we hit both these two. Overall, I would like to see it coming back down again. I mean, my goal for the week for this one would be um, somewhere over in here, right? I think this one kind of it goes up and down, but I think we're trying to end the week back down in the 1930s. I think there's just going to be too much talk about it. So, um, stop hitting the damn buttons again. Yeah, silver. We got silver again. Silver. Look, we talked about it. We said we didn't know if it's going to be here. It could potentially be right on 25, or it could be just below it, and you can see all the basing. So, right now, again, I think silver still has a quality short in it. Actually, between gold and silver, kind of like where silver is more, just because we did have this burst up, it should move twice as fast. So it looks like if we can break through this 24.55 level, that's where the base is. We have a touch, we have a touch, we have a touch, we hit it again. We should be breaking through. Let's see what it looks like to the downside. Yeah, makes sense, which would put us right back down there. So, yeah, overall, not the worst trade. Not the worst. Right? Not the worst. Might have posted that one. Hold on. I hate when it does this. Like whatever's on top. Like it should automatically put the price labels on the top. I don't know why it doesn't. Then there'll be somebody that finds a reason. Oh no, it should always be on the bottom. Yeah. So again, very, very similar trades. I like the way that this one will move faster. Nice little breakthrough. What do we got for Apple? Apple spiking up. Yeah, not a bad morning. Tesla doing the same thing. VIX. Yeah. Whoops. Why is there so few candles? Yeah. See, it's opening and starting to pull back down as it should. Dollar. Again, nice little spike up and down. We'll see how this one continues to roll. Um, Again, need a little bit more. Reverse, yeah, right at 9:30. Reverse right at 9:30. So let's see if we can get. No, no, not happening. You can go in the other room if you want. Want to go in the other room? Okay, sit there, then stop touching stuff on the desk, please. Um, there you go. So VIX is obviously up 2.4, pushing back down again. Dollar starting to creep back down a little bit. All the indices are in the green. Even YM. And again, when Russell Russell had a vol open. Let's see if anything would have been a decent opening print base here. These off from last week. No, unfortunately, it wasn't. It was already too far gone. Again, it was a nice little. It was this. And again, this is the problem we have at opening prints on Monday. 8:15, 9 o'clock, 9:15 was here. You could say, well, wait a second. There's a level right here. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Unfortunately, it hit 9 and then came back again, and then there was your 9:15, and then there was your 9:30. We were already past it. And you could say, well, what about this one right over here? Well, unfortunately, that zone was Friday from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not really the strongest zone. We typically want the zone to form and be confirmed in the overnight. And again, that was from last week. So if anything, you could say, hey, listen, we just bounced off a zone. We should be going long. So unfortunately, no opening print for ES today. Again, there was the early stuff. Kip, they do not want to hear you sing. I know you feel like they do, but they actually don't. NQ. Look at the craziness in this one. 9:30 straight up. It actually came over. It's actually funny. So there is an actual zone here, and it is confirmed there. When you go here at 9:15, that is the next confirmed zone, and that's what it smashed into before pushing down. Overall, kind of the same problem. Yeah, there's a base at the bottom down here that we've hit multiple times, and it tagged it at 8:15. Being the 9:30 was right here, looking to the left, all you had was that zone, was this one. So could you have taken that one and gotten maybe a quick short? Sure, but again, this is confirmed Friday at 2 p.m. and it was formed Friday at 12. So the best opening print for us? No. I said stop touching. Get down. Go. Go. You're done. Go. Go find sister. Go find sister. So yeah, I mean, could you have gotten into a quick spike? Sure. Overall, I don't think this is a bad one to continue going higher. There is a confirmed zone up here. I think that's the next place we really start to see any type of selling coming in. It will clear this one. And again, it's not the best of ones, and it's already spiked it. So 15,831 is where we could potentially hit today. That's not a bad runner, right? Would be a pretty decent day for the NQ to go up that high. And again, with the data we saw so far, Not too bad. Again, actually, you see it mentioned here. Stocks set to open mix as investors brace for earnings season and China's GDP. Again, that retail sales number is looking like it's going to be pretty good. Earnings should actually be pretty decent. I think there'll be some surprises with that one. So NQ should be able to continue to rise. And again, Apple and Tesla both doing well. So again, I'd say target of 1583. YM, yeah, 930 Monday. I mean, this one, that's what it looks like. There was your 915. So it did come back down and grab a zone. Is it the ideal opening print? Yeah, I mean, we kind of had the base and it kind of can, it kind of popped up at 7 o'clock and came back down. So it is kind of a confirmed zone and we had pulled enough far away. Again, anything confirmed over here? Not really. Nothing, no confirmed here. And then again, that was last week. So this one would have had the ability to go long. A nice little pullback to that level, kind of small risk on it. Again, it was starting to go a little bit early. 1 to 3 is only there. You can see we're well past. And we know, whoops, I'll just extend this across. You can see that we're up in an area of sellers. So again, we talked about kind of breaking through levels last week and it was there. Right now, again, high on the curve. It is the weakest. If, profit taking comes in from all these pairs, this is the first one that should roll negative. And again, it can come all the way back down. And there's the origin of the move down here at 34,609. So that's about a 100-point drop in the YM. Not what you ideally want to see if for manufacturing, but could it make it there? Sure, could. Yeah, yeah. A little early. It's running into this. Yeah, 34. I'd say 34,609. Wow. If if we start to paint a red in here, this one has a lot of room to drop. So yeah, some room in that one. And then obviously here you go. What it got? I mean, this one actually did come back, right? That's Sunday super late, right? Here's your confirmations coming in right there. So there's your green. So yeah, try to get as many as I can. Touch there, touch, 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 touch. There we go. So man, this one took off. But same thing. In and area buyers. Yeah, 1 to 3 is there. This one took off. Wow, 1 to 8. And I mean, it turned where it should have, right? There's where sellers are coming in, right? Right at that line, right? Drop, base, 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 boom. And that's where it turned. So, man, look at the volatility in this one. And again, if we go back to the origin of this move, coming all the way back down to 1943. So, again, wow, super volatile day in the Russell. Crazy day in the Russell, right? Crazy, crazy day. Um, hmm. Yeah, right now I'd say look for it to drop. I mean, that's what it's looking for. We get a red, a green, and a red in here. Look for these all to roll. Again, whew, I think YM looks like it wants to go, but Russell also looking like it wants to go back down again after a huge surge at the open. And that would make sense, right? Saying that, the market is mixed, we're not really sure where to go. You pick one direction, you go high, everybody tries to buy it, right? And then all of a sudden it pulls all the way back down again. And everybody that was buying it at the peak lost all their money or loses all their money. So it's kind of making sense. Easy way. And again, look at this. Now we have again, if this one, it closes in 1 minute, that would give us a descending top on it too, right? So, could we see a parabolic retracement on this one? I feel like it's here, right? Unless we suddenly pop up and put a new high in, but right there, it's kind of like, oh, I mean, there's your impulse, your correction move, but we know we have a ton of sellers up here, tons of sellers. So yeah, looks like a pretty interesting Monday. ECB expects a 20-point basis hike in Monday. Funny, they just came out with that news. We expect a 25-point basic hike. Got blown up. Got bloated up. Oh, it's trying. Yeah, no spike on that one. Especially may take longer than the past. Don't currently see a risk of over tightening. Wow. Don't currently see a risk of over tightening. Although it's too it's very odd, right? It's too early to declare victory, but we don't currently see a risk of over tightening, right? And obviously core inflation. Again, that's the problem everywhere. People don't want that core inflation. It's sticky. I agree as well. So yeah, 25 basis point. Not. I mean, that's not. Again, they're a little behind. So yeah, it's funny. Look, really no reaction to that. Yeah, 25 basis point. Nothing. Nothing. So yeah, it looks like everybody's got a case of the Mondays today. So yeah, and look, they're all starting to level out. I mean, this was the best one. Now we're down at 53, right? 3, 9, 5. The beast over here at 34, not really killing it or anything, right? Euro pound up 5, not much. Yeah, not 9, 2, 8, and 6. So yeah, unfortunately, not a crazy Monday. So it looks like everything is starting to kind of retrace back to exactly where we were. So I don't know if it's going to stay this flat. I think the monetary policy notes is going to be an amazing trade tonight. I think again, if you guys are watching or you have the ability to jump on at 9 o'clock tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, kind of see what the market's doing in preparation for this one. But I think it could be an overall pretty decent trade. So again, with the news we have, that is literally the best news release we have all day. And if it's going to stay flat, not do a whole lot, that's where we're going to see it. So, all right. With that, let's go ahead and do our giveaway for today. Looks like we got some Monday people today. A little bit low over here. Although, didn't I see Debbie here? Didn't Debbie try to put something in? I don't know why it's doing that. Ernest came in. I knew Ernest was here. I saw Ernest. Maybe no Debbie. It's Monday. Maybe she was partying up this weekend. Maybe she was partying it up. All right, I'm going to close it down right at 3. I always give 30 seconds afterwards, just in case Debbie is here. They're sending messages out. They're like, we need help, but for next Monday. I'm like, man, you just sent this like emergency, like, I need help. But I'm like, but that's next week. So, all right, there we go. Closing it down. Bam, nailed it right on 3. Somebody's on today. Somebody's on. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. He took his 3. So Ernest has been playing the long game on this one. That is 3 Nora for Ernest, right? I was wondering because last time he got stopped by Nora with a 4, right? So let's see. Go back to the leaderboard and give Ernest his 250. There we go. He did it with his 3. I was wondering. I was like, man, he's been stopped once or twice already trying to get that 3 victory. And he finally got it. Statistics was on his side. So there we go. Congratulations, Ernest. All right. What is this? Oh, Surge Trader? I'm like, I don't know who that is. Anyway. Not showing that up. All right. So you guys have a great trading day today. Again, it's Monday. Everybody stay cool, right? We have very high pollen in Maryland, so it's going to be a fun day for allergies today. Hopefully everybody else does not have that. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow we'll have a little bit more decent data. That at 8:30. All this CAD data is great. And again, we may see the CAD strengthening in preparation for that, as well as retail sales for the U.S. Should be a good morning. And if it's going to be more flat today, then again, we should have a good one tomorrow. So with that, everybody have a great day. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.